The day my boss fired me in front of everyone, he smiled like he'd finally won. I walked out with my name dragged through the room, not knowing that less than 24 hours later, he'd be staring at me in complete shock. My name is Ethan Miller, and for 5 years that company decided how my life worked. I wasn't important enough to be loud, but I was important enough to fix things when they broke. I showed up early, I stayed late. When problems appeared, my name was always quietly attached to the solution, never the praise. That changed on a Tuesday morning. The warning? The meeting invite came without context. No warning. Just team update. Shh. When I walked into the room, I knew something was wrong. Everyone was already seated. My boss stood instead, arms crossed, waiting. He didn't ask me to sit. "Ethan," he said loudly, "we need to talk about your performance." The room went silent. He listed failures that weren't real, deadlines I never missed, mistakes I didn't make. Each sentence felt rehearsed, like he'd practiced them in front of a mirror. No one spoke. No one defended me. Then he smiled. "We're letting you go," he said, effective immediately. In front of everyone. I felt heat rush to my face, but I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I didn't beg. Because deep down, I already knew this wasn't about performance. It was about fear. As I packed my desk, security stood nearby like I was a threat. 5 years of loyalty fit into one cardboard box. Coworkers stared at their screens, pretending not to see me leave. Outside, the air felt too quiet. That night I didn't sleep, not because I was scared, but because I was angry. Angry at myself for staying silent so long. Angry for believing being dependable was enough. The next morning my phone rang. "Unknown number," I answered. "Is this Ethan Miller?" A calm voice asked. "Yes. This is Karen Whitfield from Corporate Compliance. I need to speak with you today." My heart stopped. She explained quickly. An internal audit had begun, financial discrepancies tied directly to my department. My former boss was already under review. Then she said something that changed everything. "Your documentation keeps coming up?" I had always documented approvals, saved emails, logged changes. My boss used to mock me for it, called it paranoia. Turns out it was protection. By noon, I was sitting in a quiet office answering questions, not accused, consulted. They asked how approvals worked, who signed what, when decisions were overridden. I didn't exaggerate. I didn't defend myself. I just told the truth. The next day, they asked me to return to the building. When I walked in, my boss was already there. Same suit, different face. When he saw me, his confidence collapsed. He didn't smile this time, he whispered. I didn't respond. Inside the boardroom, facts replaced opinions. Documents replaced stories. Each page they read made him smaller. When they mentioned my records, he interrupted. "He was incompetent," he snapped. "That's why I fired him." No one reacted. Instead, the chairwoman looked at him and said calmly, "You fired him one day before this audit began." Silence. They asked him to step outside. When the door closed, someone turned to me. "We're sorry you were dismissed publicly," she said. "That should never have happened." I nodded. That was all I needed. An hour later, my boss was terminated. No speeches, no smiles. Just consequences. As I walked out, people finally looked at me. Some apologized. Others said nothing. But the power had shifted. That evening, the call came. They offered my job back. Higher title, better pay. I declined, because I didn't need to return to a place that only valued me when it was scared. My boss thought firing me ended my story. What it really did was expose his. If you've ever been humiliated, pushed aside, or silenced at work, remember this. Sometimes, the quiet ones aren't weak. They're just waiting for the truth to speak.